There's a time and place for everything. Bench players talking like starters, some things couldn't have been more true, especially for Grant Williams. After a career year in Boston, his actions more than likely cost his team the Miami series after getting into it with Jimmy Butler, getting schooled and scored on constantly. Miami took a 2-0 series lead, eventually won in 7. Williams later signed with the Mavs only to be disliked, having trouble with teammates, apparently getting destroyed by Luka at practice, and now stuck with the bottom shelf Charlotte Hornets after seeing his former teams compete in the finals, Boston winning without him, taking one L after another. The 25-year-old still has good years left, but his career could be wasted from being on a great team to a terrible one. Realistically, things never end well when role players open their mouths directed to the wrong guy. Starting with Patrick Beverley, opening week start of 2020 season, the post-Durant Warriors era, the brashy role player with the Clippers acted like he was already a champion, reportedly ran around Vegas after hearing the Paul George Kawhi news, feeling all the confidence in the world after taking Golden State to 6 with rookie SGA.
Prices just went up. Don't talk to us.
Bev got ahead of himself opening week, talking smack to Steph Curry. The next 5 years be his. The all-time great response, aren't you 31? Curry played all but 5 games the 2020 season, but Pat Bev's Clippers always be remembered for the 3-1 epic blown lead to the Nuggets. Teammates clash. Although he played 20 more games than Steph last 5 seasons, the best point guard of this century, still considered a premier superstar, absolutely trumps Mr. 94 feet in every stats category imaginable. Beverley's only accomplishment, making all defensive second team 2020. Many at the time had the audacity to question Steph's legacy, whether 2019 the last time Golden State would ever contend after losing Clay for 2 years. The unstoppable Curry still averaged 21 more points above his fake rival, his best postseason still to be written, silenced his doubters, recapturing the title, winning the luxurious Finals MVP, completed everything on his all-time great resume, made an additional first-team All-NBA. Beverley, on the other hand, been on 6 different teams since, passed around like a blunt. At least a trash talker, lucky being on great teams, played 37 playoff games, 2 more than Steph in that span, who only made it 2022 and 23. Beverley also torched and embarrassed by a third-year Luka Doncic 2021. Superstar Kawhi saved the Clippers. Devin Booker gave Mr. Beverley a 40-piece Game 1. Conference Finals ended with a soft shove in the back of CP3, leading to an ejection. Traded twice the following season, first to Memphis and then Minnesota, lost to his former team. His biggest accomplishment, beating the Clippers in the play-in game, act like he won a real championship. Rewarded with a 1-year extension worth $13 million, his Wolves lost to Memphis in 6. The team Curry destroyed en route to his 4th title. Beverley later sent to Utah, flipped to the Lakers awkwardly, teamed up with Russ Westbrook, a bad combination, started 45 games, most memorable for shoving DeAndre Ayton and hilariously bringing out the camera to the ref. Shifted to Orlando, brought out, headed to the Bulls on a mission to knock the Lakers out the playoffs, told LeBron he was too small, put up 10 points, 5 assists, then followed up with 0 points and L 3 days later. His Bulls ended up losing to Miami for the final playoff spot. The Lakers meanwhile made it all the way to the conference finals. Beverley then played for Philly, reuniting with James Harden, traded to Milwaukee for campaign. What a downgrade comparing himself to Steph. Then took most of his basketball talents to podcasting, 6 trades, 5 different teams later, a 16-21 playoff record, 2 suspensions, and way more 2 small celebrations than clutch baskets made. His NBA career now mostly over, given his bad attitude disrespecting a female reporter, bad fan interaction, still ringless, and a first-round exit to Therese Halliburton. Now taking his talents to Israel at 36, his last NBA game, 6 points, 3 of 11 shooting, played nearly 40 minutes with an ejection, while Curry went from top 15 all-time to the top 10 conversation. What a legendary way for Beverley to go out. Montrezl Harrell, career never the same after the bubble, from peaking 2020 regular season, winning 6-man award on a contender, averaged over 18 a game, had a reliable Lou Williams setting him up for easy pick and roll finishes. known for his fierce personality, got into it with second-year Luka, even tried getting under his skin, disrespectfully calling him the B word associated with the color of his skin. In a dark time where racial tensions in society at an all-time high, instead of rattling the superstar, Luka had an all-time playoff performance, a 43-17-13 game plus the epic double bank game winner.
Doncic pulls up, three-pointer, bang! Bang! It's good!
The same game Harrell was an absolute travesty, essentially made no impact, while Doncic's reputation elevated, getting to the finals before the Clippers franchise. Harrell also butted heads with Paul George on missed defensive assignments, not understanding how to talk to his star teammates. His attitude ultimately cast a shadow on the bubble run, being the title favorites, only to getting abused from one white boy to the next. It was Nikola Jokic, who truly exposed his Trez's defensive liabilities, dominated him from all angles. The whole bubble disaster led Montrezl to betray his teammates, signing with the rival Lakers, only to not get along with Frank Vogel, had some DMPs the following playoffs, shifted to Charlotte, caught with the weed, known for getting into it with Giannis, messing around with one superstar to another. The latter incident trying to disrupt one of the league's best players while taking the ball and shooting at the other side of the court, even had Thanasis ready to fight. Harrell proceeded to average under 6 and 3 under same head coach Doc Rivers, couldn't even get minutes backing up Embiid and Paul Reed for the playoffs, signed 1 year with Philly before getting waived for a torn ACL, begging for a last shot of redemption, now 30 years old. Lance Stephenson, forever known as a LeBron pest, his ear blown, still the first recollection many have of the Brooklyn native, never living up to his potential, misused and a bad fit everywhere besides Indiana. The highly touted high school legend was supposed to be the next big star, but focused too much putting on the show. All the antics, Lance's flamboyant style and fearless attitude made a name for himself. First drew the choke sign 2012 playoffs directed at LeBron, limited minutes off the bench, to Miami destroying his Pacers, losing to the superior James again 2013 in the ear gesture 2014 conference finals. Even President Larry Bird, the king of NBA trash talk, had enough of Lance's remarks, finding himself on different teams instead of polishing his all-around game. Lance couldn't play without the ball in his hands, failing to have any effect on Bron. His Pacers lost to LBJ again 2018. Lance followed him to LA. The two couldn't play together. Went to China by age 28, then a brief return thanks to the 22 COVID protocols, needing extra players. Recently released in Puerto Rico last year. Most recently played for the Iowa Wolves G League squad. Stephenson's attitude gave him lots of recognition, but his time in the NBA always most remembered for one of those guys trying to take the extra step to annoy LeBron. Enes Kanter freedom, a one-dimensional center journeyman, never afraid to express his feelings, now been out the league for over 2 years, will always cherish the fact now that he's an American citizen, a powerful voice in politics, free to express whatever he wants, being a replaceable player, more of a traditional bruising big and a defensive liability, especially for the modern era. Once he became outspoken of the NBA's face of the league, alongside LeBron's powerful brand with Nike, Kanter immediately started getting less playing time. We all know how the league responded to the Daryl Morey situation. Of course, ESPN and the NBA media easily picks a side. Enes traded to Houston, then waived on the not-so-lovely Valentine's Day. Ousted from the league, there will absolutely be no second chances for Kanter if he would have stayed silent, especially if he didn't call out LeBron. Enes Kanter freedom most likely would still be in the league today on a vet minimum. Jae Crowder, still a little bit of hope for a minimum signing, established himself as a true starter, being a second round pick, basically a 3-and-D, tasked with guarding LeBron during the Boston-Cleveland matchups, especially the 2015 and 17 postseason. With James's Cavs prevailing every time, Crowder's relentless defense and energy earned him the respect from fans and teammates, then oddly joined Bron's Cavs in the Kyrie trade, but James didn't love the trade, given Cleveland got ripped off. Crowder struggled playing with James, Before traded to Utah, Jae then talked a little smack, landed in Miami 2020, had the finals matching up with James, the two chirped back and forth, a couple hard fouls, LA won in 6, then the two met first round following season, Crowder embarrassed by LeBron Game 3 with the laugh and reverse layup, constantly taunting Crowder. Jae committed a hard foul Game 4, also played well. His Suns will win the series. Mocked LeBron with the salsa dance, cherished his win and talked his smack, but lost in the finals to Giannis. Then humiliated by Luka's Mavs, clashed with Monty Williams, wanting an extension, traded to Milwaukee, barely played, lost to his former team, a minimum follow, also got in it with former teammate Booker. Crowder now just turned 34, clearly lost a step in his game, already having tension several times. Teams don't seem to be interested in the 12-year vet. LaBradford Smith getting into it with MJ, the only reason why he's even talked about and remembered just after 3 seasons in the association. The 6'3" guard had a career night, dropped 37 points with the Bullets against Chicago, went 15 of 20 from the field, game of his life. But instead of letting his performance stand, the second-year Texas native made the most regrettable decision of his career. Supposedly commented to Jordan, "Nice game, Mike." While MJ had a bad performance for his standards, just 25 points, 9 of 27 from the field, but the Bulls still won. None of that mattered. All the talking points in the media related to Smith's epic performance. LaBradford even told the outlets he didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but the very next night, the two faced off March 20th, and energized Jordan absolutely destroyed, abused, annihilated, and humiliated the helpless Smith. Continuously torched to no end, scored 36 first half points alone, started 8 of 8 from the field, finished with 47, a dominating 126-101 win. Smith scored just 15 himself, had his confidence diminish, never failed to score even 20 points in an NBA game ever again, finding his exit from the association the very next season. Decades later, Smith mistakenly having an excellent game against Jordan's Bulls, likely the worst thing for his career. Had it happened against anyone else, Smith might have been in the league for several more years. Jordan admitted later, Smith never actually trash talked, but MJ played it in his head to use as motivation. Smith might have looked at him the wrong way, but anytime a role player thinks they can outplay Jordan, they'll always be the victim of MJ's greatness. Reggie, the former Bulls All-Star, had a career year, 25 and 6 averages the 83 season, but traded to Kansas City back in February. The struggling franchise landed the 3rd pick, drafting the UNC prodigy. An arrogant Theus said, "No rookie could replace me." Once MJ heard about that, in his 3rd season, tells Kenny Smith he's about to drop 45. Night of February 16 of 87, MJ finished just too short, 43. Gave early warning signs how he was going to dominate the league, especially to anybody who showed a little disrespect. Jordan would average an impressive near 40 points in 21 contests on the star quality player. Theus later claimed he was responsible for the Bulls landing MJ and wished he could have played the John Paxson Steve Kerr role. The two did become friends over the years. Theus last played in the NBA till age 33 before heading overseas, lacked playoff success, never getting past the first round. Ryder, never an all-star, but a good player in his own right. The established 29-year-old vet came up averaging 19.3 points one season with Atlanta before signing as a free agent for the champion Lakers, led by Shaq and Kobe, adding more firepower to an already powerful contender. Ryder had to sacrifice his numbers, being a respectable starter, accepting to come off the bench. The former dunk champ averaged 18 a game for his career, the first player to cap off a between-the-legs dunk. Him and Kobe always talk smack at practice. Told the 22-year-old to get his ass back to the kitchen, said he can cook him. Don't get it twisted. I'm a star too, and I used to give you buckets. Kobe was like, "You really think you could take me?" Phil Jackson ended practice, let the two settle their beef one-on-one. Here's actual footage of the superstar sensation destroying Ryder, using all his offensive arsenal. A beatdown so bad, teammates waved the white towel. A helpless Ryder begged for mercy, humiliated so embarrassingly he got cut by the Lakers before the 0-1 playoffs. JR did get signed by the Nuggets the season after, but lasted just 10 games, then immediately out the league after getting waived forever. Just months after the one-on-one beatdown, Ryder's previous success as a player absolutely overshadowed being a victim. getting spanked by number 8. Of course, 4 seasons passed since Strapbut's Mario Hezonja last played in the league. His greatest moment, blocking LeBron James, sealing the greatest Knick victory of 2020, followed by laughing in this picture when LeBron went down. If the other 29 teams didn't want to sign him, neither does the GM. Which one of these role players had the most humiliating defeat, failing to back up their words, being remembered as victims of another superstar's greatness? Share your thoughts on the comments below. See y'all next video.